or feeding his cat for 2.5 years. Never once. He was just a spoiled little shit. And I'll tell you, I've seen him 3 times at Andy's, and I have let loose with him in front of everybody there, told him what a little thief he is, breaking into my apartment, breaking my expensive Tiffany lamp.
Is this the same guy that left all the
my other lamp? I had other lamps, regular lamps like that, really nice ones. They stole some of those. And I know if I'm not just one to, I should have sued them. I really should have. That was one, but it's, long drawn out, and I figured, look, their karma is going to come around. I'm not going to mess, with their karma. Their karma, they've already fucked their own karma up. So, in some way or other, justice will be served. The loss of those lamps did not make my life, a disaster. Somebody,
This wasn't the same guy that was moving stuff around and denying it, was it?
Oh no, that was supposedly one of my friends, but he liked me. That was the trouble, and he was still. I knew he did just by the way he was looking at me, up and down, and would make excuses to come in the bathroom when I was showering and to get things. And I could see him. I knew he. And so his way of being, because I didn't have any interest in that, he hiding myself. What a creep. Well, and then that Zachary, who was a very nice guy, the day I went to get my foot set and my leg and everything, and had x-rays, he was the only one at home, and he knew, I didn't have locks in any of the rooms in. And that's when he went through my room, found where I keep my money, which I don't keep money here anymore. I got it in the bank over there where it's safe.
That's good. It's a lot safer in the bank.
Well, yeah, and he stole $100, and I had, before I went to the hospital, he had taken money from me before.
When you mentioned
that I know of, for sure.
Patel, the landlord, he took money.
That night, the two Abe who had your room, you know what Zach did? When I took him in the living room and I had a talk with him, I said, you've got to get over this taking things, Zach, and lying. I said, you cheated on your fiance, cheated, and you brought this prostitute up here. I could have really gotten in trouble if I had answered that door. I said, you'd have been in jail, because if I had let them in, they would have said, the woman across that you just saw for a second, someone with black hair. Well, Patel knows I don't have black hair, and I couldn't believe it was that. I thought it was some other person that had lived here who somehow just came into the apartment, took a chance and went in somebody's room. I did, I just, because Zach seemed so nice, but boy, underneath that niceness was a really angry guy. He got fired from his pharmaceutical job, according to Abe, because he did something criminal, because he could never get another job as a pharmaceutical salesman, because he went to Navy Pier when they had all this job fair, for that one of the categories was that pharmaceutical, and he talked to 12 different companies and none of them would hire him. And Abe told me that if he had just been late or took a flight home early on Friday a few times. Being the #1 salesman, I saw his finger. He had it on his resume. They wouldn't have fired him. They would give him a warning. And I'm sure he would have. But Zach was the type of guy that would try to get away with everything he possibly could. For the whole time he was here, he came in May or June, and I kicked him out in
was this last year?
But he had this powder, that for energy and all around vitamins and everything that cost quite a bit. Every morning he used my milk to mix it, because I knew how much. At first I just bought milk the day before yesterday, so finally I said, at first I asked, Zach, are you using my milk to mix? No, I don't use your milk, I use water. No, I knew, I just wanted to see him come forth like a man and say, yeah, I have, I need to. So I said, will you go out, when you go out, would you please buy a gallon of milk? And him knowing that I probably knew, he did. He bought 1 gallon of milk, and that's all he ever bought. But he had guys up here.
That's not the same guy that only washed the tub once because he never showered?
No, they were brothers. No, they were straight, I guess. I don't know, but the Peter, who was so dirty, he had something wrong with him, because when he'd laugh, he'd go, I mean, and he was an alcoholic, and he would roam around. He'd get home from work at 1, start drinking, stomp around all night long. I don't know what he was doing, because I was asleep, and he would go to bed at 7, and then he would get out of bed with his clothes. He wouldn't even wash his face and go out the door to work. Really a filthy guy. And once his mother came, his shoes were off. We're coming out his sock. And they were filthy. And she was a lovely woman, but she had divorced her husband. They were fucked up because probably they grew up without, a father disciplining them.
Yeah.
And they were, particularly Matthew was a little brat. Oh, he was angry and defiant. And when I asked him to put, I said, Matthew, I can see you're not covering the mattress. I asked you to keep it covered, because those dirt mites can get into the mattress. And he got so indignant and so mad, he just jumped up from the table and ran in and brought this thing out.
Well, it's unsanitary. You put sheets on there.
What he was using it for was a pillow. I said,
then use a pillow.
Yeah. I said, that's not what I'm talking about, Matthew, you know it. I said, you're using it as a pillow. I want you to, you know very well, I want you to use it to keep and, he wouldn't say anything back to me because he knew he was wrong, but he was, and then when they came and he stole all my piano scores, everything. I have no...
You mean the books?
Everything that I had, he stole everything. So, I can't play anymore, but maybe someday somebody might give me a piano. I almost got one, but because of this old lady up the street, because she doesn't know what day it is, I lost it.